Enjoying enormously hallowed ground in recent times, and I hope you enjoy the music as well. I'm delighted to say that See Hawks In L.A. are in the studio now, and are a very special guest in the programme tonight. We're going to hear live music in just a moment. Rob, you're very welcome. Good to see you here.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Listen, this is your first visit to Ireland. We know some of the members of the band have been in different guises, but as a band...
Yeah, this is the band's first visit to Ireland. It's my first visit to Ireland, and we're just absolutely loving it. It's just having a wonderful time.
Now, being California guys, it's not exactly Californian weather, but it's a
nice
change for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's been dry as a bone in Southern California for several years, so we just landing in a moist place is gentle and welcoming to us.
Yes, well, of course, everybody in Ireland apologises for the weather. You guys are probably loving it,
Very grateful.
Well, we're going to hear, as I say, a few live tunes, but introduce me to the lineup of See Hawks In L.A. Give us the lineup that we're hearing today.
The lineup today is Sean Norse on the drums, Paul Lax on lead guitar and vocals, Paul Marshall on bass and vocals, and I am Rob Waller on lead vocals and guitar.
You're very welcome, folks. As I say, a few live tunes to come in just a moment, but Paul, a little bit of history of See Hawks, and the name, it's an enigmatic name, but can you give us a little bit of
Wrapped
background?
in a riddle.
It's an enigma wrapped in a riddle in a puzzle.
And will remain so, I imagine.
And will remain so, yeah, especially after my explanation.
Well, give us a clue, give us some hints even.
Well, we were actually literally wandering in the desert, the East Mojave, not too far from Los Angeles.
Looking for a vision.
Looking for a vision on
That's
a
the place to go for it, isn't it?
Yes.
Really
Yes, a couple days out there you see all kinds of things. And it was Rob and myself and my brother Anthony, and it just came to us. We're going to have a country band, and it's going to be called See Hawks In L.A. It actually happened like that, and later we kind of figured out what the name means.
But you're keeping that one to yourself.
No, well, it's kind of a metaphor. A lot of people say they've never seen a hawk in Los Angeles.
You see, I thought it was that, and I thought maybe that's too simple. I thought I'm just being too literal here.
It's pretty literal, but you're sort of in the club or not. Many of our friends come up and say, I see them all the time. And there's other people say, I never see them. So it's...
I thought, you see, it might be an ecological concern that perhaps once hawks were commonplace in LA, but not anymore.
There's a few less.
So I was getting there. I was in the
right. Yeah.
It's part of that, but it's even like... I mean, LA is such a huge concrete metropolis, and a busy, traffic, congested place, as people know. But there's still, in spite of that, there's wildlife there. There's coyotes and there's hawks, and if you're conscious of it, it's still around. I think that we often have this idea like we're just constantly destroying nature, and to some extent that's true. But it also survives. It's still there as well, even in the midst of us.
It's resilient despite how much we try to wreck it.
For sure.
It tends to come back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In terms of getting the band together, there is a great legacy of country rock in the Californian air and in the whole LA scene. Was that important to the band? I mean, I've read references to Dillard and Clark and Dwight Yoakam and people who are connected in a roundabout way with the band. So was that an important legacy, Paul?
It was more than a legacy. A lot of the early guys actually helped us put the band together. David Jackson, who played in Dillard and Clark, and with John Denver and Emmylou Harris, was a bass player on our first record, kind of helped us get our sound together and encouraged us to record. And
Chris Hillman from the Byrds played on our last record. And we went, we sought it out and they welcomed us, so we definitely looked for a place to fill a place in that tradition.
You embraced into the bosom of Americana.
Well, we hope so. Yeah, I mean, we to some extent.
Chris Hillman is a walking history of Americana himself.
He is.
Isn't he?
He's a little bit intimidating. Yeah.
The bands that Chris has played with, really, a great guy, and he's played on this program on several occasions. Fabulous fella. 10 years coming up for the Hawks, is it? Fairly close aneway, isn't it? Almost a decade.
Yeah. Decade of See Hawks In L.A.
This is a lifetime commitment, is it?
Oh my goodness.
So far.
As long as we keep living.
Yeah, it sounds like it's the sort of band you don't just join for 5 minutes. This is something you've got to commit to for quite a while. See Hawks In L.A. A commitment is required for See Hawks In L.A. I think all bands should be like this. As I say, the album Hallowed Ground is fabulous. We are going to hear some live tunes. The band are here. The instruments are set up. Warren's doing a great job on the sound, so we're looking forward to this. First track up, what are we going to hear?
Hallowed Ground we'll hear first, and that is the title track from our new record. Sort of a song about it's a song about commitment, oddly enough. When you've been married or when you've been together with something for for a long time, returning to that, original inspiration. And it's sort of about a married couple doing that, and sort of our band does that every time we go back out to the desert, and renewing your vows, I suppose.
Let's hear it now. I See Hawks in L.A. on McLean's country. I'm Ralph McLean. This is McLean.